Welcome back to Now. I'm Angelica Ross, and I am wearing makeup today, which means one of two things. It means either I had the time or I had money. And sometimes it means neither, and I just push myself. So that's what happened today is I just pushed myself to put on a little bit of dust, a little bit of makeup before I got onto these cameras. This is what we call my quick track. So this is Now, no opportunity wasted. And we're going to get things started like we always do with a quote from Buddhism Day by Day, Wisdom for Modern Life by Daisaku Ikeda, my mentor that passed away recently. I'm so grateful, though, that I have been introduced to the practice of Buddhism. I am so grateful for Tina Turner dropping that seed long time ago, and Angela Bassett for doing such an amazing job playing Tina Turner and really conveying the type of strength that you need to muster to fight back for your life. You know what I mean? I really think that Ike is a metaphor for the ass whooping we're all taking right now, to be honest. And I think that we all need to drum up the right kind of courage to say, you know what? I don't need conditions to be right. All I need is to stand on my own name, to stand on business. Just give me space to be myself and do me. And when they not, you got to demand it. You know what I'm saying? So like you got to fight. You got to fight for it. Sometimes you have to fight for it. And I'm going to tell you, I've been sitting here trying to answer the question for myself. Am I ready, willing to fight? Or is it a fight or flight moment? Do I need to start booking a flight out of this country while my passport is still valid? All right. So today is April 29th, 2025. And I am reading from Buddhism Day by Day, Wisdom for a Modern Life by Daisaku Ikeda. If you don't know, you need to know. Google, get into the books, all of them. Unlocking the Mysteries of Birth and Death, it slams. I'm talking about that one is the one that slams. But the one that really, really slams is Discussions on Youth. That's the book to get your kids that are raising. That is the book. If I ain't never told you nothing right, I'm going to tell you right now. Discussions on Youth is the truth. Get that book for your youth and for yourself because we all youthful spirit. But it literally is one of the books that I refer back to often. Discussions on Youth is powerful. It's very, very powerful. Okay, so April 29th. Our efforts for the sake of dialogue, in order to be worthy of the term dialogue, must be carried through to the end. To refuse peaceful exchange and choose force is to compromise and give into human weakness. It is to admit the defeat of the human spirit. Socrates encourages his youthful disciples to train and strengthen themselves spiritually, to maintain hope and self-control, to advance courageously, choosing virtue over material wealth, truth over fame. Ashe, okay? Yes, that was absolutely a word. And while I run upstairs real quick to get that hard drive so I can get these other things on here, I am going to give you a sneak peek of the Like a Butterfly Masterclass. Hopefully this, plays onto the thing. I think it will. Let's see. I've been preparing something powerful, something designed to break cycles, to change everything you knew about yourself. Because let's be real, transformation ain't easy. It's uncomfortable. It gets you to face the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. But on the other side, there's a version of you waiting to emerge. And once you see it, you'll never want to go back. It's almost time. Are you ready? I don't know if y'all heard or not, but word on the street, on the internet streets, and it ain't even the internet streets, it's like officials, Israeli officials are saying, actually, the Biden administration never really asked us for a ceasefire. They really didn't pressure us at all, baby. I feel like Israel is doing any and everything just to gaslight and get everybody upset. So who knows what's what? But I believe it is what I'm going to say right now. I believe it. I've read a couple different sources that are reporting that, and I believe it. Terrence Howard has recently stirred some controversy by revealing that he declined the role of Marvin Gaye in a biopic due to discomfort with portraying same-sex intimacy. Yeah, because I thought it was all about the craft of working, whatever. But, yeah. He stated, if I kissed some man, I would cut my lips off, emphasizing his personal boundaries and asserting that his decision isn't rooted in homophobia. But what y'all think? Is it homophobia? Is it not homophobia? Because I heard him at one point talking about how he wanted to, it's about protecting his manhood and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wait, because his man card, that's what he called it, his man card. But let's talk about your man card for a second. Because back in 2015, Terrence Howard admits hitting ex-wife. I almost lost my mind and slapped her in front of the kids. I could hear him kind of saying it like that. Shit, I almost lost my mind and slapped her in front of the kids. As I'm reading it, and not to mention, wait. Because not only did he say that, but then I came across another article. Marvel actor claims he's been forced out of Hollywood after suing Disney. Because you listen, I know Disney's like them Zionists. Actually, I think Disney, we on double check. I think Disney's on the BDS list and, all the things. So, but Disney don't play. So you sue Disney, they going to try to end your career. It's like the Zionists do. You do anything against the Zionists, they're going to try to end your life supply. That's what they do. Zionists in life supplies and colonize. That's what they do. In case we weren't clear on this broadcast. I was reading this and then scroll down. I'm not going to unmute it, but all I'm saying is with him wearing that pimp wig, I believe the allegations. And he's saying it out his own mouth, like Melvin Moore said. He said out his own mouth. But what I was doing was collecting the receipts because I'm thinking about that man card. Because a lot of people are okay with abuse being a part of that man card. It makes their man card valid if they're abusive. They don't got nothing wrong with, the abuse allegations. But doing a gay scene in a movie jeopardizes your man card? I don't know, girls. What say you? What say the girls? But post-Empire were the phones ringing for Terrence Howard. That's what, yes. Listen. That was the thing. Because after Empire, I was expecting to see him in a lot of stuff. I thought he was so great. I'm going to tell you, I thought he was so great. I was in a meeting because I currently have been working on a film for a couple of years now. And we are right now, actually about to go to the next step with things. But when I was talking to the team and I was like, who I would love to be in the movie is Terrence Howard. I would love him to be a part of my thing in the movie. And people, we were very open to that. And then I started seeing all this stuff and saw Feminista Jones post saying that he's known as an abuser, and it's a group of them light-skinned Avengers in Hollywood that is abusers. Avengers, you get it? Marvel, blah blah. But he can go around talking about one by one the square root of infinity, but he can't kiss a dude. Right. And then recently, so we got to dive into the layers. Okay, so now I'm about to get a little controversial on this. Wilson Cruz unleashes on Terrence Howard. I know that Queer Tea also had Terrence Howard rejected lead. Pride. Wilson Cruz slams Terrence Howard for refusing gay roles. Wilson Cruz blasts Terrence Howard for saying blah, blah, blah. Right? Oh, we're going to get a little messy. So while Wilson Cruz was doing all that, and Queer Tea had caught and picked up the story that Wilson Cruz was slamming Terrence Howard, I commented under the Threads post, selective outrage. And the table was shooketh. The table got shooketh at that moment. And I do have love for Wilson, but right now, we on different sides of the situation. And I'm going to be very clear about that. because the way he was acting during the election season and caping for Kamala and GLAD and HRC while silencing all of the people who were speaking up on all the things, it wasn't just a situation. It's a thing that he, along with so many other celebrities, were being pygmies and being willing to be picked to be a part of the function as long as they didn't talk about Palestine. And that is the real true tea. So as people started seeing me disappearing from the algorithm and from real life events, no one was asking questions. No one was, oh, why is Angelica not hosting this anymore? The excuses they were giving me was budget cuts and different things, but still Cynthia Erivo and other people are showing up at the function. They have budgets for them. I'm specifically talking about Hulu and Disney Pride that I hosted 2 years in a row on ABC News. I was one of the co-anchors. I don't know if y'all remember that. I slayed it. 2 years in a row. I was coming back for the third year. They had talked to my team. Everybody had been briefed. We were going up to me being on the third year. Shortly before the event was, maybe a couple months before, just a short while before, they let us know that they weren't going to be able to bring me back due to budgeting concerns. So my manager was like, okay, well, what is the budget you do have? Because we try to work with, what have you. They didn't have a budget anymore for that. For me. So I'm calling out, just like I did on one of my Instagram reels before that posted that kind of shook a little table, got the girls a little upset when I was calling out your performative activism, because you want to speak up whenever somebody has wronged you in the LGBT community. Craig. Oh, yeah. Oh, she's shaking the table for real tonight. Oh, okay. Is that what's really? Okay. So this is what I'm going. Okay. So I'm just going to go there. That's what we doing. We going there. So people want to be selective with their outrage. I saw folks was outraged. I saw Craig going off on Tamar because Tamar was like, girl. And I know that some gay men, they don't like, when you call girl and being coming at their manhood. And listen, I understand, because a lot of people think that you can't be masculine and be gay at the same time, that those things are mutually exclusive. Tamar is thinking that she's, at a gay function and, girl, this and that, and she's saying the things or whatever. And they wanted to use that moment to make an example, I think, to make an example out of Tamar, and got really heated. But my thing is, girl, sit your ass down. You the same person talking about how confused you are to use they, them pronouns. Sit down with that performative stuff. This is exactly what I be talking about when butch queens have typically been the weakest link when it comes to standing with trans people in solidarity. It's so many examples I lose count of how many times being an ally is just too hard, too confusing for y'all. I'm not talking about the cis straight people. I'm talking about the Craigs. I'm talking about the LGBTQ people. People who go and organize trying to remove the T from the LGBT. Yeah, I'm talking about y'all. I'm talking about y'all who are telling trans women that they have to perform femininity and that they should shave before they end up trying to walk into a women's bathroom. But ain't nobody telling Barbara that she got to shave. And Barbara's beard is natural. And Barbara's a cis woman. But now they are stopping cis women at that bathroom because they're not performing femininity like that, because y'all still got it. Y'all want to still play devil's advocate. Y'all want to still play in the sand. Y'all want to still be the cute accessory with the famous straight girls. You understand what I'm saying? You want to be with the Tamars and blah, blah, blah. But when you want to get mad when they don't understand the tea. And they are like, well, girl, and they want to play. Now they want to kiki. They want to kiki too, just like you want to kiki about the trans girls. Oops. Just like y'all want to kiki about the trans girls, the cis girl, they want to kiki too. But the reality of the situation is, all of these terminologies, all of this is about relationships. So let's get this down. If you don't have an intimate relationship with someone, then you need to ask how they want to be addressed. And if you want to be a respectful person, then you address them as such. Point blank, period, end of story. It's very, very simple. So stop it with all this performative activism. Because if we're going to call the girls out, then we're going to call all the girls out. Then we're going to get all of us free, because it's time. I'm ready. Are y'all ready? Are we really ready to set us all free? Because I'm with you. I think that folks need to be careful when trying to use that word girl as a pejorative term at gay men. I absolutely believe that. But girl, I'm gonna tell you to sit your ass down if you not one of the ones that's like that across the board. Cause sometimes y'all girls need to be called girls so you can be reminded that they don't like you just like they don't like me. We part of the same community. Like Jay-Z said, you still a well, girl, you still a girl. 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 Oh, somebody said, did I hear about the Houston DL list? Yes, I did. Child, the DL list in Houston. Listen, you ain't never gonna hear me giving away my list. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're safe out there. Until these dudes start bragging about sleeping with trans women, I'm gonna sleep well. Cause listen, Auntie was a hoe back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like Auntie had her fun. I don't do that no more. The kitchen's closed. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not interested right now because ain't nobody interested in showing me what I'm trying to see at all. And so like I'm marrying myself and the work that I'm dedicated to. I have a purpose here on earth. And if nobody's going to be equally yoked with me in that purpose, I don't want it. You're a distraction. And so many men have been a distraction because they don't see me. They don't see me. You don't see me. You don't see the value that I bring. You just see somebody you want to sleep with, somebody to get your rocks off with and blah, blah, blah. Or even at the very least, like, you know, I'm not even gonna fully go into it, but all I know is it's not worth it for me, so I'm not doing that. But hey, Goddess Queen Sister, girl, your screen name is blocking your name for me right now. So sorry. Lala, thank you, my God. Hey, Lala, girl. Why somebody said that D-list scared them? What's scary about the D-list? You got to say more. Oh yeah, Jerome, Auntie has lived. I've lived. You know what I'm saying? So listen, go to YouTube, y'all, before the night is over. Listen, it's an order of operations I need you to take. It's an order of actions I need you to take for me because I need you to support. I'm going to do the stuff. I'm doing it regardless because I'm on purpose. That's what I'm doing. But I want you to be able to say, I'm one of the supporters. I'm one of the people that support Angelica Ross. I support her. I support her show. I support anything Angelica Ross do, actually. You know? So go over to youtube.com/Miss Ross and hit that subscribe button. Not only hit that subscribe button, hit that join button. That's where the support comes in when you hit that join button and join for $4.99. Starting at $4.99 because you can join at the I think it's $9.99 level and it's a $19.99 level, I think. So it's 3 levels. Join them levels, different perks at each level. We're going to get into it. Oh, girls. Wait. Oh, we got to talk about Sinners. Wait. Did y'all see Sinners? Did y'all see Sinners? I saw Sinners. I cannot watch horror movies and scary movies. I don't like them. I don't like being scared. I think that life is scary enough. But I loved Sinners and I can't wait to go see it again. Can't believe I'm saying that. But I definitely want to see it again. I don't think that they needed that white girl Mary in there. I'm sorry. I understand all the sides of the story, but I'm going to tell you how Hollywood works. Hollywood always wants to slip a white girl in there. Let me tell you something. I've been in talks with different things and with different people, and they've been negotiating different films and different stuff. And you'll have an all-black story, and someone will use their position to make sure you slip a white woman in there. And I don't mean just in the background. She gonna be one of the stars. Cool. Listen, I get it. It's fine. You know, it's fine. It's a story. You know, yeah, I liked it. You know, it was great. I just don't think that was necessary, you know, especially, you know, seeing how all the things work. That could have been somebody, that could have been an old black girlfriend. That could have been Yaya DaCosta. That's who it should have been. It should have been Yaya. That's who should have played that role. Dead ass. Yaya would have ate that up. Tell me, Yaya would have ate that up. Y'all need to get Yaya for the next things, though. Because that's my sister. And then when you get Yaya, then you need to get me so we can play twin sister vampires. Yeah, I'm pitching you, Ryan Coogler. You said to me one time on Twitter, a long time ago when it was called Twitter, that you know, would look for the opportunity to work with me. I know maybe you might have been just, you know, pushing me along the way. But in case you wasn't, Ryan Coogler, I'll be available. I can be available for that. I can be available. Me and Yaya. we come together. I mean, we don't come together. You know, I'm with my sister and all the things because I'm advocating for her and I'm advocating for myself. You understand what I'm saying? But I would like for us to be together because I think we can play twin sisters. You know, I think we can play fraternal twins because we look, you know, every time me and her get together, we update a selfie just so we can, you know. I need you to comment. I need you to comment on this Shannon thing. Because here's the situation with the Shannon thing. This is what worries me about Shannon. Here's the situation with Shannon. We're going to go back to the Shannon Sharpe story. Shannon Sharpe refuses to view alleged sex tape in $50 million civil rape lawsuit. And see, on Now, we don't just say stuff. We bring receipts. Click, click. Oh, there it is. Oh, she got a nice little booty, though. I see what trapped you. I see what got you. I see. It gets you every time. It's going to get y'all every time. I see it. Yeah, I'm bisexual, pansexual, so I see it. Yeah, so what I love, just going to give y'all tea. I know this is kind of AI stuff, and we can't be using AI for everything. But Shannon Sharpe, this is the story. And so when you go to Yahoo Entertainment and you click on the takeaways, it's saying, here go the takeaways. This is what you should basically take away from this story and this situation. NFL Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe is facing a $50 million civil lawsuit alleging rape and coercion by a woman known as Jane Doe. But I think he done already called her out, Gabby. Cause Gabby, you know this just a shakedown. You know, cause they just want to take from me, and this just a shakedown. I think I could do Shannon Sharpe in the snatch game. Cause you know, I could think I could do that. Central to the case is a video recording allegedly showing one of the encounters, which Sharpe has refused to watch despite being offered multiple opportunities. This is what don't make sense to me, Jerome. It was the skin. It wasn't the booty. It was the skin. But this is what don't make sense to me is that he got up on his Instagram, posted a video saying, y'all just, well, why don't you release the whole tape? Because, this just a shakedown. And, you know, like Jay-Z, work with that lawyer. You know, they're just trying to get some money. But the thing is, he asked them to show the rest of the situation. And now that they're willing to show you a tape, you don't want to see it. Now it's eyes wide shut. Nah, girl, roll the tape. The only thing I didn't like was the Irish vampire said that all vampires are both man and woman. That is very interesting. I don't know if I caught that. I'm going to have to go look at that back again when I go look at the Sinners movie. I got to catch that. But listen, the thing is that they don't never have nuance for non-binary and trans people. So that is the thing. Love Ryan Coogler, love everybody. But I'm going to tell you what. The black queerness is missing from everything. Always. It's missing from Wakanda. It's missing from Black is King. When Beyonce did her Black is King album, queerness should have been front and center because it is that inherent to blackness. But each time they don't seem to have the range to be able to be inclusive about it. That's why we have to come. That's why we can't be, you know, constantly applauding at the crumbs all the time. And also we have to create our own stuff. So the fact that he was about to settle for $10 million as well, I truly believe it's a shakedown and that he's just into rape play and race slave and he didn't want that exposed. Oh, is that what you think? That's interesting because if he were into that, then she would have no case if she's rape role play is on the menu. However, baby, this is where we got to get nuance and unpack the layers of the conversation, because just because someone's a sex worker does not mean that they deserve to be violated. It doesn't mean that. So anytime you want to say no, you can say no. I don't give a damn what's going on. And the thing is that there's so many women and femmes who are waking up to the realization that they've been violated and probably haven't fully processed it because they thought they deserved it. I'm one of those people. I'm sure some man out there lollygagging and skipping thinking he did nothing wrong. I actually know he don't because I told him that he did something wrong. But and even afterwards I did. But you know, it was a situation where, of course, he was a sexy man. You know, it was back in the day. And like, you know, I think he was a personal trainer. And he was at one of the gyms. And I had invited him over. So again, I invited him into my space. That does not mean that I welcomed violence. Let's be very clear about that. And so, when we started getting into the things, listen, I'm a petite girl. My bones are not that big. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a very small girl. So, and he was very, endowed. He was a very large man. And I was not expecting, all of that. And I get it. There's always this kind of commentary with men and women, between men and women. It's like, oh, you talked all that game now. Oh, now you gonna get it, blah, 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 whatever. I get that. And that can all be cute to a point. But when I'm telling you that it hurts, when I'm telling you that it doesn't feel good, when I'm telling you to stop, that should not make you more excited. That should not get you harder. That should immediately make you pump the brakes and be like, what's wrong? Because I want to make sure you're comfortable and okay and you're enjoying this as much as I am. But truth be told, we know that men don't care if women enjoy sex as much as they do. Oh, look, y'all. Okay, y'all really engaging in the... Oh, listen, I'm glad to catch you live. I was just watching my nightly rewatch of Iyanla Fix My Life. Come on. Well, now you got a nightly other thing you can do at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time. Now you got something else you can do. I want to share a video with you really quick, too, because I've been working alongside trying to educate the people, alongside Butch Ware, who's running for governor in the state of California. And, so he's going to come on at some point and talk about his run for the governor's seat. And I believe that Kamala Harris is also running for governor, which is very interesting. I don't think she will win for very specific reasons, but I'm going to let y'all decide on that. But there is a reel that he posted, and I asked his permission if I could share the reel on my live stream, and he said, please do. So that's what we're going to do, is share this video on this live.
This message is for AOC Pelosi, who stood in front of us and lied to our face, playing in our face, telling us that the Dems were working tirelessly for a ceasefire and that we should be supporting Kamala. Now that it has come out that the Biden administration actually never asked for a ceasefire, and they gave the Zionists carte blanche to carry out the most heinous genocide that any of us have witnessed in our lifetimes. I'm just wondering, will there be a public apology forthcoming? Probably not, because we all know that you sold your soul to the devil himself so that you could one day potentially run as a Democratic president for the United States of America on the Democratic ticket. Your personal ambitions are more important to you than the pile of couple of 100,000 Palestinian corpses atop which you stand.
I be seeing you working out in the gym. I see it, youth. But y'all saw he had a message for AOC, because it has been reported that Biden never asked for a ceasefire deal, never pressured them for a ceasefire deal, just was talking so that y'all would keep going along with the program. Y'all that was believing. Because a lot of y'all was trying to shut us up saying, well, damn, they asked for a ceasefire. What else can they do? Girl, really? That's all it took for y'all to believe that? Wow. And the girls was eating it up like, sopping it up with a biscuit, as they say. Sopping it up with a biscuit. Eating it up. It was all lies. It was all lies. It was all lies, everyone. It was lies. The lies. The lies. The lies. I know y'all know who I'm referencing. Yes, I am quoting Love and Hip Hop, and I am quoting Miss Candy from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Listen, are y'all watching The Real Lives of Atlanta? I knew he wasn't doing a damn thing when the headline said he's just angry about what Not Yahoo was doing. Okay, Tech Rookie Bill, you finally found my YouTube. Had to click on your TikTok link in your Insta Linktree bio. Okay, great. I'm glad you find it. I'm glad you were over. Come on over, subscribe, join. If you got that $4.99, I could use it. I could use that $9.99 if you want to upgrade to the next level, or maybe the $19.99. Listen, just want to see that you support a girl. You know what I mean? I have been watching Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, I'm gonna tell you how I watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. I watch it on the background, and I'm gonna tell you how I watch it, because I'm about that life. I'm about that BDS life. The boycott, divest, sanction movement. So I'm divesting from all the bullshit. I'm divesting from all of it. I canceled HBO Max. I canceled Hulu, Disney. I canceled Netflix. I canceled Paramount. I cancel everything. What is it? Amazon Prime Video, whatever. Cancel that. All I got left is YouTube. So I've been watching Real Housewives on YouTube. Jerome Trammell saying Angela is owning the season. What I'm gonna tell you is this: I have always been Team Kenya Moore. Always been Team Kenya Moore. But when I saw Miss Kenya, girl, I know that she has since apologized. I saw her since do some interviews where she was like, she was not proud of the behavior that she did. And baby, that was not a proud moment. That was a low down dirty shame, actually. That was shameful behavior. I haven't watched the Real Housewives in a really long time, and when I saw Kenya put that girl's, basically slut shame this girl in front of everybody at an event that's supposed to be about uplifting women and her hair salon, my mouth was dropped to the floor. I was gagged. And I wasn't just like gagging. I was like kind of hurt for her. And I don't really I don't know those girls like this. I don't know them like that, but like that was not good. That was bad. You said, I guess I'm divesting too because I watch all these shows and movies free from a little app. I heard that. Listen, well, maybe you tell me about that little app. Listen, no, let me not promote certain behavior on my live. But you hit me up later. But yeah, no, that was really, 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 really bad. But here's what I want to say about the whole Real Housewife of Atlanta sort of thing. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. What I love about pop culture and stuff like that is that the best of it is a really great reflection for who we are as a people, who our culture is. I mean, so many times I see there being a call from the people to want to see a death to celebrity culture. But there'll never be a death to celebrity culture because celebrity culture is all about what the people celebrate. It's just a reflection of who y'all celebrate. Do you need me to say that again? Celebrity culture is just a reflection about who the people celebrate. Y'all celebrate Blueface and the Shade Room and Kanye West when you need to be celebrating each other. Every day people are scrolling past their friends to celebrate people they don't even know, who don't want their kids to even turn out nothing like you. But you won't celebrate yourself. You won't celebrate your friends. That's why celebrity culture has to maintain, because it will always be a reflection of who you celebrate. So just know that we can change what celebrity culture looks like if we change who and what we celebrate. Hello, somebody? Kenya have not gave Brit no real apology since 2025. It's crazy. Well, here's the thing about that situation. This is what I notice a pattern with, not just Real Housewives, but also with, society in general. People who are experiencing some sense of powerlessness in their lives. In some form, they feel like power is being taken away from them, or they feel like they don't have any power to change the energy and the circumstances in their lives. And so people manipulate energy and they manipulate things to get people on their side. They tell half the story. Oh, we know those people that want everyone to gang up on their side so we can all gang up on this one person, but they didn't tell you about the first lick. They didn't tell you about the first rock they threw. They didn't tell you about what they did. That does not excuse Kenya's behavior, because I do think that the girl was being a little interesting with her behavior towards Kenya before Kenya decided to do that. But that in no way excused what Kenya did after that. I think Kenya fully believed that people would be on her side. I think that's why she was so bold in talking the way she was talking at her party and of doing what she did. I don't know who hyped her up, what producers, what hairstylists and makeup artists hyped her up to be able to come out like that, but that was egregious. And it's one of these things I've seen people do where I've seen stuff happen on the internet and see people tell a story that gets us all to harp on this one person, and then you find out that wasn't a full story or that wasn't all that happened. And so I just want us to be mindful about the swing of the mob mentality that folks are trying to tap into and trying to unleash and manipulate on each other. Each of those girls have taken turns where they've crossed the line, and they keep telling each other, nah, bitch, that was low down dirty because you done crossed the line. You done talked about my kids, and now you done did this, and now you done did that. Well, girl, what's a red line to me might not be a red line to you. But we each taking turns throwing low blows. So where's the bottom? And I'm not talking about the glam team. I'm saying, where is the bottom of the how low can you go? I know, I threw that joke in there. How low can you go? How low do you want to go, queen? Wait, let me see what the comments, what you say. You want to know what I think? I think Kenya Moore was ready to leave the show, and this was prefabricated. This is exactly what they want us to think, that this is some sort of organic event. Maybe King, but I think I mean, you think that people need to pull them kind of stunts to get out of contract? I guess that's quite a stunt. Word on the street is that Ming Lee from Basketball Wives has beef with Britt and allegedly may have been responsible for all the toxicity. I don't know all the gossip and all the different things, and I think a lot of it is unnecessary, to be honest, but I understand that that's what Andy thinks is entertainment. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to set him up so we can get him on the live for tomorrow night so we can talk about all the other things. But he wanted to discuss the famine that's happening right now in Gaza and how people are living. Basically, people, they're eating like animal feed and like spoiled bread and things like that because there's nothing else to eat. Food or medicine has not entered into Gaza. He also wanted to discuss the targeting and deliberate killing of children and the number of them who were killed in the war, because again, U.S. media does not report accurately on that number. That number stayed the same ever since they were negotiating for a ceasefire. I can't even begin. Listen, I can't begin. I just don't know if I have the right word. I don't know if it's livid. I don't know if it's insulted. I don't know the exact word, but the fact that they've been lying in our faces, and we knew that they were lying in our faces, and a lot of us were calling it out. Not all of us. Let's not have revisionist history. Some of y'all out there, let's not do that. Let's grow. We can grow and talk about where you were and where you are now, but let's not have revisionist history. It is just wild to me that saying every accusation is a confession turned out to ring true as a bell in regards to Israel. Rape claims, rape accusations, not Palestine, not as the hostages are leaving and kissing Hamas. Thank you. They didn't want y'all to see that video. That man, a man, not a woman being overly affectionate, a man, not a gay, it wasn't a thing like that. It was him being genuinely happy and elated that they were having some sort of exchange, and maybe this was coming to an end, and I appreciate and understand your struggle. That's what that was given. Women coming out of the thing saying how well they were treated, how the men would turn around and didn't want to watch them undress and things like that. That's what was really going on. Meanwhile, Israel is dead ass raping Palestinian hostages. And let's be clear here, Whoopi Goldberg. Cause girl, I need you to issue a retractment statement. Cause I caught you one day on The View wanting to clarify that the Palestinian folks were not hostages, they were prisoners. No, baby. Those are hostages too. Those are children that Israeli IDF soldiers snatched up off the streets for no reason. Some of them for daring to even look at them sideways. They snatch them off the streets and have become hostages. They're hostages. They're not prisoners. Whoopi. I know what side you stand on, Whoopi Goldberg. Girl, I know you're a Zionist. I'm calling it out. I know you is. I know you is. I ain't even gotta do much research. I know I don't. Prove me wrong. Somebody prove me wrong and tell me Whoopi ain't no Zionist. I'll wait. I'm going to sleep on it. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow night. But I'm going to wait on it. Tell me. I'm open to being wrong. I'm open to being corrected. I say anything out of line. Y'all can correct me anytime. I'm open to accountability. Just make sure you come with receipts. And make sure you're cute about it. Don't get too cute. And unless I'm bringing certain energy at you, then you can bring certain energy at me. We can go toe to toe. But you better be respectful if I'm being respectful. That's all I'm saying. So I'm gonna get him together on another night. So that's gonna be it for now. I appreciate y'all joining me for the now nightly. We're gonna be here every night. Well, not every night. Saturdays and Sundays, I'm gonna take a break over the weekend. But Monday through Friday, we're gonna be here and we're gonna be talking about all the things from politics to pop culture, and we're gonna talk about how it all comes together, connect the dots, and get to the deeper discussions. I hope y'all ready to be in the deeper discussions. Also, if you're interested in being a collaborator and joining me now, if you're local here in Atlanta, join me here at the table. Let's have some conversation. I would love to have folks who have information, especially on specific conversations like Stop Cop City here in Atlanta, or people who are just connoisseurs of the Atlanta entertainment scene with the housewives and all that, and you want to talk about those things and you're local to Atlanta, come to the studio, but you don't have to be local to Atlanta. I have a collaboration link that I can send you, and you can join me live on the nightly live stream. So, and again, it won't be like, just my basic interviews, which I will be sharing some of my interviews. I have not fully returned to the podcast yet. And that is because I have been working on all these things on the fly to get all these things together and just kind of working under the hood with things. And now that I've got things pretty much set up, now I'm going to be syndicating this nightly show onto the podcast platform for everyone to listen. All right. So make sure you subscribe on every platform, YouTube especially, youtube.com/Miss Ross. We're going to be talking about all the things. Make sure you get onto our breaking news storyboard so we can talk about all the things and continue. But yeah, I can't wait to continue having all these conversations with you. I usually leave and leave off by sharing what we call a Buddhist breadcrumb. Here we go. A person of wisdom is not one who practices Buddhism apart from worldly affairs, but rather one who thoroughly understands the principles by which the world is governed. In the end, secular matters are the entirety of Buddhism. In the end here indicates just as they are. In other words, secular matters just as they are. Listen, this Buddhist word right here, that was just a little something, but I'm going to tell you how deep that really is. What they're saying is, don't be impressed by these people who are performing spirituality and religion. Don't be impressed by that. I need to pull that back up, but basically that, because a lot of people put like, because they go to this building and this church, because they wear these clothes and robes, because they do these rituals, and they spend so much time. That's all I do. All I do is praise the Lord and watch Jimmy Caldwell. What's the Falwell? One of them preachers. My grandmother used to watch him all the time on the Jimmy Swagger. Oh my gosh, she was watching Jimmy Swagger all the time. All I do is praise the Lord and read my Bible. That's all I do. I don't do nothing else. I don't do worldly stuff. I don't go there. I don't do this. I don't watch that. I don't talk to these people. I don't go there. I don't do this. That's not how it works. That's not how the practice works. And they talk about Buddhism here, but I like to kind of like go ahead and connect the dot to what I would say is a correct way to practice faith. It's not in ways of preaching to people. It's in demonstrating through your own experience. And that is through experiencing life, not sitting on a pedestal or on a mountain meditating somewhere away from the troubles that everybody else is experiencing, because you have the privilege to have the airfare to go to Fiji or wherever else you want to travel to feel like you need to find yourself, Miss White Lotus, only to find out that you're just shallow. So real practice is done through real relationships, the real challenges with people, conversation, dialogue, real life, everyday real life. That is where the practice is. That's where you practice your humanity. That's where you practice being like the Buddha or being like Christ. How about it? Because a lot of y'all Christians ain't not a damn thing like Christ. And that's the T on that. Y'all ain't nothing like Christ. I don't even know if y'all really know Jesus. I don't know if you know Jesus. I'm a Buddhist and I know Jesus better than you know Jesus. How about that? I was raised in a church, so I'll give you that. I was raised. And if you raise a child if you raise a child, what is it? What's the Bible word? If you raise a child in the ways in which they should go, they shall not depart, or what have you. And listen, that don't mean pledge allegiance to the bull-ish. That means you train them up in the right way to go, girl. That don't mean like just, subscribing to some bull crap. Get married at 12 and having kids. No, girl. Being a willful indentured slave. No, girl. That's not what no. That ain't what we use religion for. What is y'all problem? Women, you only supposed to wear pants and no makeup. Girl, what? Huh? I can't hear you through the blush. I can't hear you through the blush, girl. Talk about. So, all right, y'all. That is it for me tonight. Thank you for joining me now, nightly. I will see you all tomorrow night. Good night, everybody.
Bye.